From Provo, Utah, this is the Ultimate Final Fantasy Podcast with your hosts, Joseph DeGolier and Kaleb Schweiss.
And Caleb Craig.
This is Ultima Final Fantasy.
Welcome to another week's episode of Ultima Final Fantasy, the Ultimate Final Fantasy Podcast. I am your beloved host, Kaleb Schweiss.
I'm your hated host, Joseph DeGolier.
And I'm guest host, Caleb Craig.
And today we are going to be going over the best bosses in the Final Fantasy series. Now,
is it bosses or is it bad guys?
It's kind of a mixture of both, honestly, and I'm going to take that into consideration while I'm doing my rankings. We looked at it earlier, and this is a subject we've wanted to touch on for a while, but obviously
we've been asked twice by two different people to rank the FF villains, yeah.
And I think we've gotten it in questions past, but we've just been like, that's an episode, not a question.
Yeah.
So there are a couple of them that we have decided, like for 9, Necron, Joe has replaced it with Kuja at the very least. I kind of put Necron / Kuja. I'll throw them in together. So, I mean, it's kind of like a lot of the games have the bad guy switch at the end, and that's a weakness in my mind for the games earlier in the series.
It totally is.
But because of that, we have used the figurehead bad guy as the bad guy for a couple of these nominations. So keep that in mind. But I kind of like, for my list at the very least, I did a little bit of both. I just decided Necron is the bad guy, but Kuja, I'll just group them in together because fuck it.
Okay.
Right? Why not?
All right.
Yeah, before we get to that, I mean, where are you at in 14? What are we doing?
Well, Schweiss, we are a good way through most of the dungeons in Stormblood.
Yeah.
On top of that, Heavensward. On top of that, we have we've started some trials, and I don't know, Schweiss. I think I might just plow through Stormblood tomorrow. I think I might just do that because I'm in the middle of, or I'm at the end of the the fourth patch out of 5, but 5 is kind of split up into 2 parts.
Yeah, Sopranos season 6.
Season 6, exactly.
Yeah.
And so they are shorter 2 parts, but they are still it's still pretty long.
Yeah.
But I think I can plow through it tomorrow. And
tomorrow on Sunday?
Yeah.
You asshole.
I have all day free tomorrow, but
oh my god, dude.
And I'm not playing no Zodiac Age right now, like most of our listeners probably are, or yourself. I want to plow through this game. I will do some dungeons, of course, and I'll still be working on those dungeons while we're doing Stormblood, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to finish those dungeons before we finish Dragon Song War. It's too close to the end of Dragon Song War.
Yeah, we just need to push through.
Yeah.
All right.
Did I say I was going to plow through Stormblood?
Yeah, you did.
I meant Dragon Song War.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What level are you in the game?
I am 61.
Are you does it block you from getting XP?
No,
right
I
now?
told you this the other night. I said, I don't have a problem.
What is going on?
You need to call the helpline or go on your Square Enix account
because
to figure that out.
It was doing it before. It was giving me XP before, but now it has like a little no sign on the XP bar.
Did it ever start with the Stormblood
yes,
animatic?
It did, but it doesn't now.
When did it stop?
I don't fucking know.
Was there an update and it just decided it wasn't going to do it?
I don't know, man. It just did.
What? Okay, you do need to actually call someone and get some help on this because this is bullshit.
It is, but I mean, I'm like,
I have had no problem. I bought the copy digitally and it just started.
I'll look at it again.
You bought it physically, though, right?
Yeah, I did, but I had the digital early access key that I put in.
Okay,
So how would I have the early access key, Square Enix, if I didn't buy the fucking game?
If it's a physical copy, then you need to go on your Square Enix account management and then activate that on your account management thing online.
But how would I have... The thing I don't get is, why would I have early access that's only available from pre-ordering the game if I didn't have the game? So why give it to me for the early access period?
You are right.
And not the fucking regular period.
But I know that my PC version of Heavensward, just because I have... of A Realm Reborn, just because I have Heavensward on the PS4 doesn't mean my account is allowed to play Heavensward on the PC.
Well, right, but
I would have to go in and get the physical Heavensward or digital Heavensward for PC in order to do that on PC. In order for even though it's the same account, you have to go into account management. So I would go into account management first, and then make sure you activate Stormblood and not lose out on the XP that we've been gaining from these dungeons. And,
I definitely have been.
And then also if you can't do that, then you got to call their helpline after that.
I think it's stacking, though, because I've seen the little bar go up, but it still has the block. So I might be like level 63 when I get it opened. Or they're going to fuck me. I'm not sure which, but I'm ready for either.
I can't believe you didn't already check the account management system.
I don't know. We only talked about it like on Tuesday.
We've talked about it like 3 weeks in a row now.
No.
And I've been like, my copy doesn't have a problem, Schweiss, and that should be the flag to go,
Well, you weren't level 61 for that long, though.
No, but I had the animation. I didn't have a big stop sign telling me to stop.
No, I don't know. We'll figure it out, but
so
it doesn't really matter. We're going to get all these dungeons out of the way, and we're going to have all the XP we need, but I don't know. It's just annoying. Like, why... Why would I have the trial version? It's like questioning whether or not I own Type 0 when I played the 15 trial that I bought Type 0 for. It's like, well, did you buy Type 0? It's like, yes, I bought Type 0 because you remember when you made this little demo exclusive to those who buy this other game? Yeah, I have the demo, so clearly I have the other game.
I bet this is an easy fix.
It probably is.
It pulls up the fucking Mognet when you log into the game or before you log into the game.
It probably is an easy fix, but it's just dumb that they didn't have it auto-applied because it was connected to my account and I had the Stormblood one during early access, but I don't know, they might have wiped it or something. I don't know what the fuck they did.
Or maybe when it stopped being early access, you actually had to register your game.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't see a problem. Craig?
No, I think he had to go in and register his Heavensward when he did that too. So
that was but I bought Heavensward. I bought the game with Heavensward, and I didn't have to register Heavensward.
Okay,
but I registered the fucking early access for Stormblood, and clearly that's not enough to just register the Stormblood as is. So fuck me.
When I got Heavensward for PS4, I had to mess with something on the Mognet in order to actually use it.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't have to do anything. We've had the Heavensward background the entire time we played 14.
Well, we bought it within a combo.
Yeah, with Heavensward.
PS4.
So maybe that's it. Maybe it's because I bought Stormblood separately.
Yeah, it wouldn't let me make the it would show the new races that I could pick for Heavensward, but it wouldn't actually let me use any of them until I registered Heavensward in my Mognet.
All right, stupid. We'll do it later. Okay. So you're gonna beat 14 tomorrow, though. You're gonna beat Dragonsong War.
Yeah, man. I got all day. I'm gonna beat that Dragonsong War.
What about the rest of the days? What are we gonna do? And what are we gonna do about the legendary or the extreme fights? Because a few of the listeners have said those are ones that they can't even do. Like Krinital hasn't done a bunch of them. So, do you want to try to do those? Because those are, heavy shit.
I don't know if I want to do the stuff that's going to take, months to figure out how to do. I definitely don't want to do those. So, maybe I'll go through the list with Krinital or just anyone in that chat and just be okay, experts.
Yeah,
tell us what is reasonable and what is not.
Which ones do we have big enough balls to actually beat? Because extreme, if it's gonna take us weeks and weeks of grinding other content to get one of them done, that's
not gonna grind items either.
That's late game.
Not gonna pull at 11 on this.
Yeah, that's late game. You're staking with the game. This is your game.
Yeah, that's not
kind of thing.
It's not what we're in here for. As much as that content, I'm sure would be fun.
Yeah, it probably would be. It would be life consuming and all of that good stuff, but.
Well,
we got tactics.
we originally said we were just going to do 3 things, but then we decided we wanted to do all the dungeons. Maybe we just want to do all the dungeons and not all the trials.
Maybe some of the trials.
Maybe some of the good trials. I don't know. I'll talk with someone about it. We do have our 5-page list though, and we are actually a good chunk into those.
Yeah,
as far as the dungeons and the trials are concerned. Not so much the 24-man raids, which is about 1.5 of those pages of 5.
Yeah, pages. So guys, you should join us. We want to do some of those 24-man.
And I guess we need at least 8 people
for the Bahamut. Yeah, we want to do that too. So just I don't know. Do you want to try to?
We only had 6 people the other night that were up for it, but
yeah,
I know we have 8 people. Just matters on scheduling.
Right. Do you want to try to do that this week then? try to see if we can get some of those.
I would like to, yeah.
All right.
I mean, it depends on everybody else's schedule. Me and you can't just do them.
Well, yeah, obviously. So yeah, guys, meet up with us. We want to do some of these dungeons if you guys are available. We've got the Discord. We've got the just the Discord basically. You should just get a hold of everybody. So.
Yep, at Crinitol on Twitter.
Yeah,
or
tweet him.
Or you can contact one of us, which, by the way, we'll do plugs after we figure out what you guys have been doing in your Final Fantasy games. Craig, our dear beloved guest, what have you been up to?
What have I been up to? Just playing some Zodiac Age.
Just some Zodiac Age.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, it's been going pretty well. I like the new job class system that they have going on. It revamps all the license boards, so you have a smaller section, and it like kind of makes it into the shape of like whatever Zodiac you happen to pick. So it's kind of weird that way. But like each job can also combo pretty well with like another one. Why the fuck are you laughing?
Your little noise you made was great.
Okay. All right. Sorry, Craig. I'm so sorry that we are such fucking assholes to you. I really am. But you did kind of make a little sound in the middle of your sentence. Well, and then me and Schweiss looked at each other for a second, and then you just can't help. You just can't help it but kind of giggle.
I have a sore throat, man. Stuff is going to happen.
Is that what you have?
Yeah. You guys fucking do the shit that you make fun of me for way more than I fucking do.
What?
You do it to the point where it's like natural for you guys to do it rather than for when I do it for fun.
I remember about 2 years ago, I hadn't seen my parents in like a few months, and I'd been hanging out. Of course, I'd been living with you, and they were like, "You talk different now." I was like, "What?" It's like, "Yeah, you're talking all like, like in the back of your throat." I'm like, "Oh shit!" So now I just talk that way. So thank you, Craig.
You're welcome.
I'm pretty sure, maybe we can look back at like the first 5 episodes, not talking about recorded quality, but just like manner of speech.
Yeah.
I wonder if I totally have a different way of speaking now.
I know I do, because I used to mockingly say stuff that was grammatically incorrect, it ain't this and that, and now I do it like just naturally, and I can't stop it anymore. I used to do it as like a joke, but now I will say like, I don't know, these, and it's singular or something like that,
like a cellist.
Yeah, or something like you fuck it up for long enough, and you just can't not do it anymore. So I know what you mean,
dude.
I know what you're talking about.
Tell us about the game you've been playing.
I'm fucking trying to, you piece of shit.
Go ahead, Craig.
Anyways, so the comboing of the job classes is pretty cool. I just got to the part where I can get a second job for everybody, and that like doubles the amount of license board that you can use, basically. So you kind of got to figure out what kind of job combinations you want for each character. Like for instance, I made Ash black mage, red battle mage combo, so she has like a higher magic damage stat, and also each character's has like changed in their like the way their stats are allocated, so like certain characters will be better for certain things. Like Ash and Pinello are more mage style, and Bosch and Balthier are more like high damage combo dudes. And Vaughn is like good for everything, and Fran is like, she should just kind of be support because she doesn't excel in any particular area. Yeah,
she excels in legs.
Yeah, she gives up skill for hotness, I guess.
Yeah, but she's good.
That's what most people are like, though, Craig.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I wonder if she ever gets like fleas in those ears of hers.
You should ask her.
Yeah, I'll groom it. I'll groom them for her.
Yeah,
yeah.
Pick those bugs out.
Hell yeah. Whatever it takes, man. I wonder how tall she is. Like,
are you enjoying 12?
I am, dude. This time I I got one of the rare game that just like randomly popped up, killed it with a Phoenix Down because it was an undead thing, and it dropped like a spear that I shouldn't get until like the point I'm at now, which is like a third of the way through the game.
Okay.
So I've had like this beastly spear that I've just been one-shotting things with from like the very beginning of the game, and it's fantastic.
It was annoying.
Did you enjoy 12 before though?
I did, but like with the new job class stuff, it adds a lot of replayability.
Did you beat it before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was at the 12 review, remember?
Oh, yeah. No, I don't remember, obviously, but yeah, sure, you were there. I remember, yeah. Whoa, great times.
Well, I just, I want to, like, go back and, like, change job classes around if I play it again, and I want to, like, there's the Zodiac Spears in a different place, and since I don't have to avoid every fucking chest now, like, I want to, like, go and see if I can get it like multiple times, because apparently you can go to the hen mines and it has like a 0.1% chance of spawning in one chest in one area. Like that chest will just have it in there, so you just gotta like zone in and out like randomly and like see if it'll pop.
Original 12 had that as well, but it was for actually no, yeah, it did
for like digging it up or
for grabbing it. If you fucked up and didn't and opened the wrong chest, that was the only way you could get it.
I was watching the stream of Schweiss yesterday, and there was some rare game he was trying to make pop. And then you were trying to do some sort of cheap. We call it not a cheat, a cheap, which, you know, utilizes the game's own mechanics against itself, as opposed to actually putting in a code that changes the entirety of the game. A cheap Schweiss you were trying to pull off that was not working for this version of 12?
Yeah. It's the Dustia farming. It's where you go into the Wester Sand, and in certain areas, I can't remember what the area is called, but if you're in critical status, there's like a % chance of basically an undead dude with like really long claws to just spawn. And anything that's undead in Final Fantasy, as we all know, you can either one or two shot with the Phoenix Down. So the trick is early game Vaughn, you grab them and you go out into the Wester Sand, you farm a bunch of wolves until you get gold enough to buy, I don't know, like it's probably like 50 Phoenix Downs. And you go in and you get critical and you find Dustia, and what you do is you throw a Phoenix Down on him. And in the original 12, when you flee the screen, so like when you're almost dead and you're running from a ghost, and you go into the next zone, they will zone in with you, which is bullshit if you're actually trying to get away, right? But with Dustia, the original game's mechanics, the hardware was limited to where you would kill it and you get XP right away, but you could leave the map before the XP and the LP show up on the map itself, and it would spawn in the next zone with you again, so you can throw another Phoenix Down on them and go into the other zone, throw another Phoenix Down, and just keep doing that. And you can get Vaughn up to level 30, and then when you get Fran and Balthier, they're one level ahead of whatever Vaughn is when you get them, so they will be level 31 and you will be level 30.
But alas,
you can't do it. You can't do it in this version.
That sucks.
It just instantly pops everything, or at least the hardware limitation is gone and it's fixed in a way. But you
tisk.
Yeah, the only way to cheap level up now is the way that you did.
Can you still do that?
I imagine
so,
you can, yeah. I can't imagine a world
because you can still
where
you can still get like every gambit that doesn't matter, and then you could set up the team the way that you need it to be.
Yeah, as long as that rare game still exists in that area, which he should, can still, and then on times 4 speed too.
Yeah,
it would be insane.
So it only has to stay on for like half a day.
Yeah, dude.
As opposed to 2 days.
It would be ridiculous. You would get so much XP and LP from that. It would just be
it would not be right.
But it's been pretty fun though. I do like the variance of gameplay. I like that I actually have to use Penelo as a mage now because I chose Black Mage, Red Battle Mage or Time Mage, I think. Black Mage, Time Mage combo for, so I have to, adjust to the area that I'm in. And right now I'm doing the Giza Plains during the wet season. I'm running through that part of the campaign, so I just have her with to attack whatever I'm targeting with Thunder. So it's usually a weakness, and I don't know, it's different. I mean, there are some crazy job classes in there, and I mean, I think Bosch at level 20 has like 20 or 3,000 HP or something like that, or 2,300. Like,
yeah, the stat bonuses that you get in the job classes are now condensed, so they're like worth more than they were before.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So like I literally got one for Fran that was like 310 HP like really early on. Yeah. So like everybody gets huge stat bonuses.
And I mean, LP you can grind out on anything. Like the wolves in the first area give you 1 LP each. So if you just run around ×4 speed and crushing wolves for an hour, you can have hundreds of LP.
Yeah, and the drops are better now, so I totally got that double LP item super early on, and so now I can grind out things way faster.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I want to see you grind, big boy.
Oh, you can. Put it up on a stream.
Yeah. But yeah, it's been pretty fun so far. I'm enjoying it.
It has to be on a different site.
Yeah.
I just wish
It's kind of grinding highlight.
I wish I could just focus on one of the games that I need to finish. But
I wish you could focus on some other things too.
Yeah. Not giving you enough time. No, but it sucks because we have so much 14, and now we're in like the twilight of our 14 playing, and this game comes out, and I'm like, I only got to play 10 hours of it this week. It's like nothing. I played way more 14 than that. It hurts.
I'm sorry.
And if I'm going to have to beat 14 tomorrow somehow, then...
Somehow. Are you busy tomorrow?
Yeah. I mean, for a little bit. We have Game of Thrones. Are you going to be down here, or are you going to go back up?
I can't be down here, dude. That keeps me here for another day. An entire day where I can't fucking shower, and I'm just here.
What are you going to do for Thrones, Greg?
For what?
Game of Thrones Season 7, Episode 1?
My brother has HBO, so I can watch it online.
Okay, I see.
His company that he works for apparently gave him free online TV.
It's okay, Caleb. It's not like it's a show we watch together or anything like that. You can go ahead and just watch
if you want to pick me up, that's fine, but whatever.
Hey, if you want to pick me up too, Schweiss.
You know, I wonder if
it's only an hour and a half drive.
Yeah. Caleb, don't tell Dylan that you have HBO, okay? 'Cause Dylan's supposed to watch it here with me. That's like our thing, right? It's our bro times when Thrones comes back. That's when I see Dylan. So don't tell him you have it, or else he'll go over there because it's way closer. Oh no, he lives in Orem now, doesn't he?
Yeah, he lives closer.
Oh well, shit. Then yeah,
doesn't matter.
Fuck you. Then you can tell him whatever you want. But,
did you catch up on season 6?
Not yet. We're like halfway through.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, we're only 4 episodes in.
Oh, fuck.
I know. Tonight's going to be awesome, man. And tonight is man.
This is episode 5 of season 6 then. That's good. That's good.
5, 6, 7, and 8 tonight, at least. Who knows?
And then the last 2.
Yeah. Caleb, the last 2 are like
Craig.
10 out of 10.
Craig. No, they're actually, I don't want to oversell. They're shitty. They're so bad. It's the worst season of Game of Thrones. Absolutely.
Yeah?
An opposite world.
Yeah. But anyway, enough about Game of Thrones. Let's talk about some Final Fantasy again.
You mean some news?
Well, it's going to be news, but my mouse is too far away from me right now.
Oh, that's nice.
Anyways, yes, Final Fantasy news.
News.
Kind of a low week for news. In fact, one of the articles is Yoko Taro, the director of Nier Automata, is talking about his favorite PS4 games, including the cursed Final Fantasy XV. So
the cursed,
yes, very much
cursed. I liked it. Fuck all this.
It was
this fan backlash.
It took forever.
Screw this.
So it was cursed. Final Fantasy XV, here's what he says about that. I was creating a title called Nier Gestalt / Replicant when this title was called Versus 13. But because it was very likely that our games would release around the same time, I was thinking, oh man, Versus is an action RPG, right? It would suck if the release dates were close to each other. Nier ended up releasing without having to worry about Versus 13. But then, when I was creating Drakengard 3, I thought it would suck if they released close to our release date. And it was the same again when we were creating Nier Automata this time too. Looking back, I feel like I was trapped by the curse of Versus for about 10 years. This game and its content created over the course of 10 years is unparalleled and unique, and I enjoyed it a lot. The one thing that surprised me the most is their incomprehensible passion towards food and beverage. FF is amazing, so he is a big fan. But he was just like, oh man, I hope this game doesn't fuck my game. It's like trying to release a new album next to, I don't know, like Beyonce or some shit. It's like impossible.
That's right.
So, yeah, fears.
Tell us about your Beyonce troubles, Schweiss.
So when I was part of Godsmack, right? Their last album didn't get number one. Our last album didn't get number one on the Billboard 200,
and Godsmack had continuously had number ones up until Beyonce decided to release on the same time. Okay.
And then they got number 3. But I don't think
but Metallica comes in, and I don't know if you guys know how big of a Metallica fan I am, but man, they destroyed the pop albums that came out that week.
Yeah, they did.
Including Bruno Mars got second by like a shitload. Like there was a big gap.
Oh, that's
Metallica and Bruno Mars.
Metallica should do.
And Metallica did not have a number one hit that played on the radio for like 12 years either. They didn't have that. It's so hot. They didn't have that. But
I don't think that played for 12 years.
It did. It's still playing.
It's played for 12 years worth of time.
And admittedly, I do like that song a lot. But it's Metallica, man.
Yeah, it can't be touched. So, do you remember the Final Fantasy XV Magitech exosuit Power Ranger bullshit?
Yeah.
That they were supposed to have. So
those poses are a little
gay.
What? No,
Kaleb. Now,
Craig, I would never say such a
totally
rude thing, Craig.
It's totally what you were going for.
Don't judge what I would have or would not have said.
I know you, Joe. I know what you would have said.
So these are going to be launching in July with a free update from Square Enix announced that the suit will make you invincible for about 30 minutes and boosts your fishing skills.
Yum yum.
After use, it cannot be used again for 24 hours. So this is kind of like a limited.
What the fuck is the point then?
Well, you have 30 minutes of invincibility.
A boost once a day.
Yeah, it's your daily. That's what it is.
It's your daily FF15.
You can be invincible for 30 minutes, and you can.
They're just going to make FF15 an MMO and just have a bunch of different Noctises running around the world.
Yeah. Or no, you get to like make your own character. It's like GTA Online. You just make your own looking dude, and he's from 15. But on your screen, he's Noctis.
Well, if you can fish better, why can't you cook better, or like take pictures better, or like walk around?
You know,
like,
I was gonna say,
faster.
well, Noctis doesn't cook, but then I looked up and it's 4 suits, so I don't know why. I can't answer that.
What the
or
fuck,
walk,
man?
Or explore better. How come you can't explore better in an exosuit?
At least walk faster. I mean, what the shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't walk fast enough in 15.
No, you don't.
I don't know, man.
I need super speed.
I think
you do
it's
walk
fine.
pretty fast in 15, especially if you got that suit on from the deluxe edition.
It's not fast enough for that.
The My Chemical Romance suit.
Yeah, the My Chemical Romance suit. Yeah.
Yeah, Jesus. But yeah, I wore it the most of the game.
Actually, you know what it is? It's the Avenged Sevenfold guitarist suit from their music video from a few. Oh shit. He's like wearing something that's really similar to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's definitely in that era.
Yeah. So not much news. Final Fantasy XII, the Zodiac Age, is out. It is awesome. You guys should buy it.
12.
Go to Amazon.com. Click to our little link on our site to support us if you want to buy it. And I think it's like a $40 game. It's a remaster, so it's not too expensive.
It's 50, but if you buy it
50?
through Amazon for the first week that it comes out, or you pre-order games, they give you 20% off.
So it's too late.
No,
the first week, so it should be.
It came out Tuesday,
like immediately right now, but not too much after the release of this episode.
Yeah, immediately right now.
So in other words, you get this episode in your feed, you better get over to Amazon through UltimaFinalFantasy.com.
Of course. It's a great way to support the show.
Another way to support the show is, of course, through a Patreon link, or there's a PayPal link there as well. We are working on setting up some other stuff so you can enjoy your Audible or your website building, and you can support the show for free going through those things.
Yeah, also, thank you, Scott Ryan, for your recent Patreon pledge. We really appreciate it, man. It goes a long ways. Years, in fact.
You can tweet me at Joseph DeGillier.
Me at Obsidian Box.
Me at UFF Podcast.
And I like how we did plugs right before we were going into discussion.
Yeah, fuck it. Do it whenever.
Unusual order.
Do it whenever. That's what I say.
Let us do it.
Okay. So, Final Fantasy is a series known for great stories, great music, and really awesome bad guys, for the most part. And today, Joe and I
wouldn't say for the most part, for a minority of the games that sell really well.
Yeah.
All right, fine.
I'll be honest, like, my top 10, like...
Are they pretty interchangeable?
3 of them are okay. So there's really just like a top 6.
All right, fine. There are a lot of forgettable bad guys, but
then there are some really good ones.
Yeah, there are some really good ones, and we're going to dive into that today. Craig, do you have your list of favorite bad guys from the games that you've beaten?
No.
Main series. Okay, come up with that as we sit here and discuss.
Hold on.
Which games have you beaten in the first place, Craig? It's been a while since you've been on the show and talked about your Final Fantasy
1, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, and 12.
Okay, so rank those guys as bad guys.
You're welcome. I just handed him a piece of paper, and he's going to get to work on that. We also had a problem, like we talked about at the beginning of this episode. What counted as like bad guy versus final boss?
Yeah, antagonist.
Schweiss was kind of moving towards the final boss category, and I'm kind of moving towards the antagonist kind of category. With a few exceptions, I chose to rank Orphan as opposed to the Pope in 13.
Yeah, as opposed to Bartanilus.
And the reason is because Bartanilus is confusing as fuck. And then wasn't really, he kind of just dropped off the face of the planet, and it was Orphan that was like behind the thing the whole time. So, but then of course I'm ranking Kuja as opposed to Necron for like opposite reasons, because Necron is just random. There is no underlying thing that Necron is doing.
Well,
or Cloud of Darkness for FF3.
Necron works for the theme of the game, but I don't think Necron works necessarily as a character himself, because like they're always dealing with death the entire time, and he is the manifestation of death. Like that's what his name means. Necro is dead.
I don't think it works,
but I think it thematically works, and that's why I have Necron on mine.
Okay, well, so we're just gonna deal with our own lists of bad guys.
But I did Necron / Kuja though, because they're basically, I don't think one of them makes it stronger necessarily. So.
Okay.
What do you have at the very bottom of your list? We're going from 15 to number 1. What's the bottom of the barrel for you?
Schweiss, I have at the very bottom the first example in the series of a bad guy that's sort of causing chaos but then does nothing at the end. His name is Zandy from FF3.
Zandy.
And he's super forgettable. And so, because I can remember the Emperor, I can remember Garland from FF1 as like a character. I can't remember Zandy.
I remember
Cloud of Darkness being the stupid bad guy switch, but I honestly, like, I know Zandy is like doing shit, but if I couldn't remember him, I was like, wow, he didn't really leave an impression on me, so he's at the fucking bottom. So that is Zandy. What do you got at the bottom?
For me, the 15th best main bad guy in the series.
And we're just doing main series here.
Yeah, main series. I put the Emperor from Final Fantasy II. I basically, I don't really remember a whole lot. I just remember FF2 really being Star Wars, and that's like when the series became Star Wars, was Final Fantasy II, and I just don't remember very much going on from the Emperor. I mean, the character Sarah, to me, the one that wanted to bed me, it was awesome in that one scene. Like that, she had more depth than the main bad guy, I felt.
I'm not going to disagree with you about the depth thing, but you do fight the Emperor like 3 times in that game. and I remembered the fights, so I ranked the Emperor a lot higher.
I don't
Really?
remember fighting him. Yeah, I know I did fight him multiple times because I remember chasing his ass around everywhere. But and then that hurricane thing and yeah.
Okay.
I remember it, but I don't remember the fights themselves. And I do remember Zandy, and I do remember Cloud of Darkness, which is my number 14. Is Zandy / Cloud of Darkness. Not too memorable, like Joe said. Bad guy switch, it really set the tone for that shit, and I don't know, I don't really dig it in the series, and they've done that multiple times, and it just feels, I don't know, it feels weird. It's like Wizard of Oz, like you think it's this thing, and then there's the man behind the curtain, and like he's the one pulling the strings, and it's like, you could do that once. I would say you can do that once in a series of 15.
But Cloud of Darkness isn't pulling the strings. Cloud of Darkness comes there to bring balance to the Force.
Yeah.
That's what Cloud of Darkness comes there for. So Cloud of Darkness is not actually like a Zandy's goal. It's just fucking random. So no one's pulling the strings, as opposed to like
that's true.
A Zemus,
Zemus
from FF4, which was like, oh, Kuja was the bad guy, and then the Emperor. Golbez was the bad guy for a long time. But then you find out that there was someone behind that, whose name is Zemus / Zeromus, who's kind of pulling the strings. I do think that is better. I don't think it's the greatest narrative tool ever. I do think it is better than the straight up, even if it's thematic, whatever that means. Even if it's thematic, if it doesn't like come out of the story, it does. I don't like the bad guy switch.
All right, that's fair. What do you have for your 14?
My number 14 is the Shadow Lord from FF11.
Jeez, all the way down there?
Yeah. And
that is, I can't respect that.
I find the storytelling in FF11 to be generally bad, except for some of the expansions I thought were okay.
Right.
In fact, I liked Wings of the Goddess quite a bit. But Shadow Lord was a bad guy in the past, and it's like he's Voldemort, so he's coming back, and then you just kill this guy who you never had any connection with. So because of his use in FF11, I'm putting Shadow Lord second to last. It's not that he's terrible, and certainly there are more interesting bad guys that come out of the expansions of 11.
Yeah, definitely.
And they're always in some way connected to the Shadow Lord. So maybe you could argue that the Shadow Lord is still like the great bad guy because like, oh, this one bad guy is Professor Quirrell and this one bad guy is whatever it is. But Shadow Lord himself I don't find that interesting.
Okay. What's next up on yours?
Next up on mine is Orphan. I put X-Death right there, but I'm changing my mind right now. Orphan is next up on mine because 13's narrative is confusing enough with Bartantalus, and then Orphan suddenly turns out to be the thing that you're going to go try to kill. I didn't find him that narratively interesting, kind of like Shadow Lord. It's just there as a final boss to kill off. It is a cool final boss, though, like the actual, I think cooler than Shadow Lord's fight. So... Yeah. I liked it as a final boss.
All right. Well, I put Shadow Lord at number 13, which is the only...
Oh, so you gave me shit for putting it so low, and then you put it up.
He belongs as the 13th best, not the 14th best.
Oh?
Yeah, just like Joe said, the storytelling in 11 leaves a lot to be desired, and you just don't have the same kind of connection. I feel like it's stronger than the other two, though, mainly because you have to rely on friends, and I feel like the theme of 11 is what makes 11 so strong, because that's why it's such a fun game to me, is you have to work together. And that was a fuck of a fight. Like, that was tough to beat that guy. We had the party, we had everybody going, we lost a couple times. Like, we really worked our butts off to make that thing happen. So I think thematically the Shadow Lord is stronger than Cloud of Darkness and the Emperor personally, but I mean, even then, it's not the most engaging of bad guys, and we've seen some very well fleshed out bad guys even before Final Fantasy XI, and certainly some after, obviously, because we put this so fucking low. But so it's on the tail end, but still had some good things to it.
I got what did I say? Orphan, right? I got Zemus next, and it's because of the mind controlception, which I know a lot of people love 4, and I understand why you like 4. It's okay. But there's a lot of things in 4 that I find are like betraying as a narrative, as narrative tools, which is like, oh, we're going to kill off all these characters. Just kidding. No, we're not. And then also, Cain is the bad guy, and then Golbez is the bad guy, and then it's Zemus. And who cares about Zemus?
You always kind of knew Cain was like under mind control.
Yeah, but you thought it was Golbez.
Yeah, it was Golbez.
And then it's like, oh, Golbez is good now. Okay. All right.
Yeah, and he joins your party in after years.
Not that big of a fan of that that sort of switcheroo. And so Zemus is also not really three-dimensionalized whatsoever. So,
yeah, it's true. He's just like a douche.
So I got Zemus.
My number 12 I put as La Habrea from Final Fantasy XIV. He's interesting. Their whole little dragon cult thing is intriguing, but I don't know. I just don't really fear the guy. I mean, we've come up against him a couple times in the past, and we don't. He just barely serves as he's just kind of in the way, you know. And then we've got him, and then we've got the guy in the white outfit now, the Ascian that's wearing white. Clearly, that guy's better. So I can't really put La Habrea that high up there.
I can't.
Plus, we totally just banished him, didn't we? It's not what we did in like a little while ago.
I can't. Yeah. Well, in an expansion,
he seems dealt with. You know, he seems like it's over for him, and and you're right. It was an expansion, but the 14 suffers in a similar fate of 11, where it's an MMO and the story.
Yeah, we got to figure out MMO storytelling. I don't think at least Square hasn't figured it out. I can't say anybody else has because I haven't played like any MMOs, but.
Well, I think these are just MMOs. Like, it just feels, they all feel like this to me. This feels just like every other MMO, 14. Like, it's fun. I enjoy it, but it's not because of the story necessarily. Now, I mean, we are having a lot of fun in Dragonsong War, but
Dragonsong War is markedly better.
Of course, so
the other ones.
Was Heavens, or well, maybe not Heavens.
I would say Chains of Promathia and 11 and Wings of the Goddess were also better than than the other expansions. But you disagree on which ones are better.
I would almost say that some of the 11 ones are better than the OG 14 by a good amount.
Yeah, I agree.
So we're talking shame here, people. But
we're also talking like to 3 audience members.
Yeah, that know. But yeah, La Habrea, not huge.
My next one is La Habrea as well. And it's because he just kind of pops up every once in a while, and I went, oh, I guess we'll have to fight him at some point. He seemed like he was not the main bad guy. He seemed like he was going to be one of the big henchmen sort of characters.
Right, yeah.
I just didn't find him that compelling. Like I told you, like the bottom ones are kind of... Then the middle ones are kind of like they're pretty good, you know. They serve the story, and then the top ones are really great. So I'm excited to get moving from here. What's your next one?
My 11th place, I put Vayne Solidor, and I almost kind of feel bad for this one, and because I don't know, he's an interesting character. He is just really after power, and he's he's a well characterized character, I guess. Like, they give him a good feel to him.
It's a meaty role, I think.
Yeah, he's very charismatic, and he gets a lot of what he wants done. So, I mean, he's got that going for him. But 12, to me, is like the story isn't the most captivating. And Vayne, I don't know. Fighting him in the end, I think it would have been cooler if we would have fought the gods or something like that. But instead, we fought him. So I'm just not as impressed with him being up there with the bad guys. I would almost swap him with one of my other ones, though, with Orphan, but I wrote it down as number 11, so we'll keep it there.
So you're stuck. All right, are we at number 10 now?
Yeah.
My number 10 is the Emperor from Final Fantasy II.
Wow.
And I did remember the Emperor, and I remembered following him along and fighting him quite a bit. And so, as opposed to the ones that are lower on my list. Like, he felt like he was more of a presence, and also like the boss fights I thought were memorable from FF2. So I put not so much for his characterization or anything like that, but because I enjoyed the fights with the Emperor.
Okay, I think I'm gonna swap it. I'm gonna put number 10 as Orphan. I had it as number 9, but
okay.
Yeah, just not as interested in it. I was more interested in the Bartandalis debacle, but I mean,
Which is fucking confusing.
Well,
when you look at it,
yeah, because his whole idea is to like get you to fight,
which he does, but then he fights with you the whole time.
Yeah,
he doesn't like try to.
I don't know. Orphan was an awesome fight.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
Jesus,
I don't know. Orphan is.
Why is it the Wikipedia page of Bartandalis just like giant question marks? Like,
yeah, like a Riddler.
What the fuck is he doing?
I don't get it.
It's just not. It just wasn't as. I wasn't as invested in the final boss. Like it has everything that a Final Fantasy final boss needs. Like they all do, but some of them are just more interesting than others. And Orphan's not that. And then, as I said, I put Necron and Kuja at number 9. Necron, I think, does thematically work with the game, but he was a last-second boss switch. Kuja, I don't know. I just don't find Kuja that great either, personally. He's a tough fight, but I don't know. There were other things about 9 that I liked more than his.
My number 9 is X-Death.
Oh, okay.
And I do like X-Death as a bad guy, although she isn't very three-dimensional.
Nope.
But does some serious brutal damage along the path. So I put X-Death as number 9 in the starting to get some decent bad guy lists. From FF5, of course, if you're not sure. What's your number 8?
My number 8 is X-Death. That's where I put.
Okay, there you go.
Awesome fight. The visuals from 5 and from 6, honestly, in those final moments of the game are like incredible. They look awesome, and it's huge, and it's everything you want to Final Fantasy.
She is replaced by the Tree of Death.
Yes, yeah, and it's sweet.
So,
like a boss switch, right?
That's another boss switch in the series.
Yeah, but I loved it. I thought it was a great fight, and it was something that, I don't know, it was weird going into the end zone and just like fighting your way up there. Like all of it was just really cool, and it felt it felt pretty powerful and did a lot of damage. Kaleb, you have 8 of them, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what do you have for your number 8?
Garland.
From FF1?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the lowest on there. It's a piece of shit.
Wait, a piece of shit in what way?
The story doesn't make any sense because of his fucking time traveling bullshit.
Well,
I'm gonna go time travel, stop you from killing me in the future. And
don't you think now I have him obviously higher because I haven't talked about him yet? Don't you think that he is a somewhat interesting bad guy though? Like the series started out with like a bad guy who had some quirks and would like sing songs and shit, and then had this like crazy immortality plot thing. I would say that it took a few games before we matched a bad guy that was like Garland.
In a way, yes, but at the same time, anytime there's a boss who messes with time, just fucks everything. It's fucking bullshit, and it doesn't make them a great bad guy.
Did you already give your number?
Because of the poor plot they provide.
Not yet.
Okay, what do you got?
My number 8 is Ultimacia.
Oh, okay.
Which is the best version of the character behind the scenes being the puppet master. Bad guy switch thing at the end. And mostly I say that because the castle and the boss fight are sweet. And also she is kind of clued upon a lot earlier than like a Zemus. From FF4, at least from what I remember.
Yeah.
So I rank her a lot higher, and I think the boss fight with her and the summon are really great. So
yeah, with Graver.
I don't know. Some of it's just like a visual cool thing. I don't think she's pretty fantastic, but I wish she was more of a presence in FF8 than she was. What's yours?
Oh, mine. I already gave my number 8.
Oh, sorry. What was it again?
It was X-Death.
X-Death. Okay.
7 though. I've got Zeomus or Zeromus.
Oh, why is he so high?
Just because it was
mine is low.
It was a brutal fight, and it was pretty memorable. I mean, that was the game that we had to review the next day, and I came over to you guys' place
that morning, like an hour before.
Yeah, and I was like, all right, I'm going to beat this tonight. I get there, and I just get fucking nuked, just wasted, just destroyed. Nothing in my way. I couldn't stop shit. And then I spent some time leveling up, grabbing the final weapons, and I don't know. I just think it was a great final boss. It was the final boss in the series that actually kicked my shit. The first 3, not so much. I never lost to the first Final Fantasy's boss. I don't think I lost to the second Final Fantasy's boss. I did lose to the third one, but it was because, and then I was able to load it up because of my save file thing.
You fucking asshole!
The save state deliciousness of Kindle.
You think I cheated in another game? Fuck you, man! Yeah. I didn't cheat. That was cheating. That was straight up like fucking. Let's do the what did they used to do in the Xbox 360 days where they had the Ethernet cable and they they put a light
and then plugged it back in.
I've seen people like clip in a light switch to turn on and off, and so to make the other people glitch so that they could kill them in Halo.
Yeah, you can do that by unplugging and plugging it back in really quickly.
I saw someone like make a switch for it.
Oh, that's douchey.
That's fucking. He pulled out. He had FF3 on his Kindle thing, and then all he had to do was like close out of the window fast enough so that he could reboot that part. It was bullshit.
That's exactly why I got
Nude
it on
Clan's
the Kindle.
gonna be a sleep cast, huh, Schweiss?
No, I don't get tired.
I don't know if you heard the thing that was Kaleb opening a can of Guinness.
Delicious beer. This episode not brought to you by Guinness, by the way, but Caleb Craig on the show today.
There was no joke there. You gotta try it
Doesn't
a little
matter.
hard. Okay.
The joke was the Guinness sponsor.
What's your number 7?
He's already falling asleep. Ultimacia is my 7.
All right.
And she had a little bit more purpose to me than Garland, but at the same time,
she doesn't make any more sense than Garland does.
That's what I mean. Like
time,
like
compression. Yeah, decompression.
Everything about 8 pisses me off.
We will compress time
like
for
the
you.
the time bullshit again is why they're at the bottom.
All right.
Must compress.
They're basically in the same position.
All right, Craig. What do you have for 6? We'll let you go first.
I got my 7, man. I haven't talked about
Oh shit! 7. Sorry. Spoilers.
Okay.
What's your 7?
Vayne Solidor, man.
All right.
I actually I didn't like the story of 12 the first time I played the game, but the second time I played the game for the podcast, I actually thought it was a lot stronger. Not that it's super strong, but I thought it was a lot stronger than it was before.
The last half is great.
And Vayne Solidor is the first of the good bad guys, in my opinion, because Vayne Solidor is a much more three-dimensional character. You can see why he sought out the power that kind of consumes him. And his relationship with his brother, and he's a presence the whole time. And all my favorite scenes in FF12 have to do with him or the judges. And it's I think he's actually a pretty decent bad guy.
Okay,
personally, not that the good guy story, I guess the protagonist, main character sort of thing. I actually talked about on Godzilla podcast. I went through because we had 3 hours to talk over this movie that we watched last week. It was a 3-hour movie, which is not fun to do a commentary over for that. I did the main character / protagonist thing, and protagonist is the person who makes the story go forward. They're the ones who push it forward, and then the main character is who you see the story through. Either way, it should have been Bosch.
Yeah.
I think Ash could have been the main character.
Ash could have been. She seemed like she's going to be at the very beginning of the game, but then she drops out space.
Yeah, she's like centralized, but
the strongest, I think, narrative in the whole game comes from
Bosch.
And we talked about this thoroughly on the FF12 review,
we did.
if you remember.
I do remember.
But and Vayne Solidor would be a much stronger bad guy if that was kind of the focus.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah. So, I still thought Vayne Solidor as a character is very strong, though. I liked him. Well, I respect how good of a bad guy he is. Excuse me. What's your next?
Mine or Schweiss?
Yeah, well, yours, because you already said it.
Oh, X-Death is my 6. Yeah.
Okay. Explain.
Pretty much just because of his difficulty, he's higher up there, but he also has like very little story elements outside of killing fucking Galoof, the coolest character in 5.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Kills
why he's
Galoof.
up there.
Anyway. What's yours, Schweiss?
Yeah, this is number 7 or 6.
6.
Okay, 6. I put Ultimacia. Yeah, she's decent. I mean, the fight was epic, and I don't know. I just thought she was a decent bad guy. I think it's cool that we went into her castle, we stormed it, we killed all the dudes. The setup for the final area was really awesome, where you had to earn your abilities back. I actually thought that was a cool way to do it. I thought her fight was huge. I mean, you fight her, and then you fight Griever, and then the scenes with all the sorceresses through time, like all of that shit was way cool. So I don't know. She was at least an interesting bad guy, and her theme is one of the better songs from the series. So I don't know. She has a presence, and it was. I think she's a decent bad guy.
Craig does not agree. I can see with his little smirks.
Dude, the time compression bullshit. Like anyone who messes with time is immediately a bad guy.
Oh, we haven't.
That is just the way it is. The story elements that they provide are
Hermione
are just poor. Yeah, dude. I did not like the fucking time travel shit.
Wow. Okay. All right. Fine. My number 6 is Chaos / Garland from FF1. And he is high up there, and I think it's because although the games didn't really follow his lead until FF6, I thought he, as a bad guy with presence, with a sense of humor, with a personality, despite it being like this really rudimentary, as we see it now, FF like NES game, he actually is pretty memorable and interesting as a character. And because of like his importance on the series, casting like bad guys are super important in this series. That I think I have to put him as number 6. Do
you feel that way because nobody else in Final Fantasy 1 has a personality? He's literally the only one who is somewhat three-dimensional.
He does leave his mark on that game. I'll give you that. There's someone missing an eye. There's an elf missing an eye. I remember that.
Wow. Rally ho, right?
Rally ho or rally ho, depending on the version you have.
Isn't that the dwarves?
Yeah, those are the dwarves.
You said elf.
I know, but
no, the elf.
It's like two different things.
The elf wants its eye. Matoya.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, looking for her eye.
Yeah, Matoya's got the. They bring that back in 14 too. Matoya's Cave. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
game's a giant reference.
It is. It's all reference. Even when it references 11, it's like.
Yeah, it's like fuck it. Yeah, here's 11.
It referenced 11.
Yeah, dude. There's
all the time. Yeah. Actually, 11 is big in 14.
Yeah, sometimes they'll have like little campaigns where you can go.
8, not so much. I haven't seen that much FF8 sort of shit in 14.
Diablos is the most 8 thing we've seen.
Yeah, Diablos is the only 8 thing that I can remember. Of course, one of our listeners will know more, but like when you go through dungeons or trials, it'll usually have a flare that's like similar to one of the games in the series. So it'll have creatures from that game or things that look like those creatures. And then the area will kind of be reminiscent of that similar area in that game. Like we've gone through dungeons that look like FF12. We did last time we played, there was one like FF11. I haven't seen one that looks like FF8. Maybe there's like a Lunatic Pandora sort of thing in the future. I'm sure there is. That would be a great level sort of thing to do in the future. But
where like everything has better stat boosts than you, depending on your level.
No. What I'm saying is like the visual look of the.
It's the only way to capture 8, Joe.
Stuff anyway, and the Esther soldiers will be there as well.
The only way to truly capture it is if it like the dungeon just had like 30 boss fights. Like you don't actually walk anywhere; you just boss fight the whole time. Yeah. That's the way. That's how you do an 8 dungeon.
Oh god, I do hate that music. Oh man, I hate that music. And so many people are like, "Oh, soundtrack of FF8 is amazing." I'm like, some of it really is amazing.
Like 3 songs.
But God, I hate that the Balam Garden theme and the map theme.
The Balam Garden
and the
theme.
Esthar theme. The most upfront music in the game. The ones you have to listen to the most. Sorry, I saw a thing in Twitch that said FF8's amazing. I'm like,
it's not.
There are things I think 14 should reference it more, but that's not a.
Yeah.
I had to listen to other music while playing that game for the most part this last time around.
Yeah.
Because after 5 times playing it...
The Balam Garden theme is okay for like 2 seconds, but because you hear it for so long ding, and so often,
ding, 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 ding,
it becomes just grating.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts,
It makes you want to play Russian Roulette.
I don't think 8 soundtrack is that bad. Those songs aren't great, but...
Dude, you hear those 2 songs like the most.
You do. And yeah.
There's only like 3 good songs. And that is not one of them.
The instrumental version is fine. I would say it's a good song. Instrumentally. The instrumental portion of Eyes on Me, it's fine.
Okay. It's okay when it's like a piano piece.
Even then,
deep
I don't
in
really
the background
care for
of a hotel
dude.
lobby.
Yeah.
Elevator music.
I guess it's just fine. Maybe it's like great in comparison to the actual song with the lyrics because that's awful. So it's like looking at a little pellet of shit versus a giant pile of shit. Jurassic Park size pile.
God. Oh, Eyes on Me is such a bad song. Guys, what? It's so bad. It's so bad.
Yeah.
It's such a bad song. I can't even think of a song that's, except for maybe Whack, 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 Whack. That song might grate more than
No, dude.
than Eyes on Me.
There are. Just go look at oh man, what is that chick's name? Nicki Minaj. Just go listen to her top 10 on Spotify.
Oh, Stupid Ho. Stupid Ho is honestly though, my stomach churns more at Eyes on Me than Stupid Ho. Stupid Ho is just like, oh fuck, this is stupid.
Really? I can't, dude. I can't do
stupid.
that.
It is stupid.
I can't do that song. I hate it so fucking much, dude. So I would say there are many songs worse than Eyes on Me, but Eyes on Me is the worst song from the entire series. Yes.
Should we rank our worst pieces of music in the series?
We should, yeah.
Episode?
Yeah.
Just
the
to
worst.
piss off people.
The worst, yes.
Yeah.
You know what would be on the bottom, so.
And
or the top.
The auction house
that
theme
one would
from
be,
FF5.
What would be on the bottom
6.
for you?
It would be that one.
It would be Eyes on Me as well.
And then probably
I can't think of a worse song.
Real Emotion.
I'm trying to decide
from 10-2.
like if that one or the
What can I do for you?
the bump, 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 bump. That one, the fucking drop, the
water droplet?
Yeah, the water
Esthar
droplet.
theme?
I hate the Esthar theme, dude. I hate it.
Of course, they're both from FF8.
So goddamn much, dude. I can't decide which one is
FF8
worse.
soundtrack, such big highs and such big lows.
Yeah, craterous lows.
It's
Esthar really bugged me, dude. I was really pissy in that area. I was like, I don't know where to go, and I have to listen to this.
Yeah, it's because it's a fucking maze, and you have to spend so much fucking time in there.
Yeah, not good. Jesus.
Where were we?
I don't remember.
Number 6 for me was Chaos / Garland. What was it for you guys?
X-Death.
X-Death.
Mine was Ultimacia.
Ultimate. Okay,
So we're on 5.
Number 5. Okay, top 5 Final Fantasy villains.
Man.
Kuja for me is number 5. I think he's a very strong presence in the game. Although his man thong really, really makes me uncomfortable. I thought that his connection with Zidane was really interesting. I thought he was a really well fleshed out 3-dimensional character. I do wish there wasn't a bad guy switch at the end, but I do think he's a very decent bad guy. And he was a really tough fight. In fact, he was tougher for me this time around than Necron was after. What about you, Craig?
I put Zeromus.
Zeromus is number 5.
Yep.
He's in your top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's only
because-
got 8, so...
So why is Zeromus better than X-Death, Ultimacia, or Garland?
Well, but even though there's the bad guy switch, he's still controlling like Golbez for the entire time. So basically, every evil thing that you see Golbez do is basically Zeromus just doing it. So it's like, I mean, he's still an okay bad guy, and then Like I did play the version of 4 that adds more story, so maybe like that has something to do with it.
I know there's like an added flashback.
Yeah, there's
in
like
that
added
one,
flashbacks and
which we did
stuff.
not get in our
Yeah.
version. You got in the full 3D remake, which people
Yeah.
think don't exist. And for some odd reason, we didn't have to play that one, but have to play the 7 full 3D remake with voice acting. I don't understand anyway.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Choice.
My number 5 is Garland from Final Fantasy I. I think he's extremely memorable. I think the series started out on a much higher note.
I think Craig is very wrong. In other words,
It would be
fucking time travel shit, man.
Kaleb compared to Final Fantasy II, Final Fantasy III boss. No, he's way better. It was a high point for the series, and it was the first game they had released.
It peaked for a while as far as bad guys.
They had I don't know. He's just very interesting. He's the only character that's interesting from that game. I will admit that is true, and that might play a part in it. But I enjoyed his presence. I thought he was a decent character. I don't like the time plot, but it's a million times better than the broken 8 time plot. So I don't really care.
It's just as broken. It is literally just as broken.
There's no time.
No one can actually do a fucking time travel story.
You don't know that, Kaleb.
I do know that.
No, time travel story. I thought you were saying time travel.
No, nobody can do a time travel story. It's fucking bullshit.
If someone could do time travel, we would know
they always end up leaving fucking bullshit paradoxes that make no goddamn sense.
You should play Final Fantasy 13 too, Kaleb.
No, dude. Can't do it.
Hey, look,
you fix paradoxes in there.
If you change the future, you can
it.
change the past.
Yeah,
that's the most.
Doesn't make any sense.
We know.
Well, Kaleb,
if you change the future, you're just literally changing the present.
If you can change the future, you can change the past. Okay, you don't have to think about it that much.
Well,
just accept
if you
it.
think about time as not a beginning, middle, and end kind of thing, if it's like any other.
That's not how it works, though.
No, you don't know. That's only how we know it works. Have you never watched Interstellar? No, Interstellar.
I love Interstellar.
Time doesn't exist.
You guys.
Have you? No, that's what that movie explores. It explores time as a dimension, just like every other dimension we have.
No,
where it can be manipulated.
Have you read Einstein's theory of relativity?
I have not.
Okay, I couldn't get through it either, so it's fine.
So time, you never know, Kaleb. It might just be our perception of time.
Nope,
Garland number 5. Garland number 5.
It's not.
Garland
terrible.
Number 5. All right, so what else we got here?
Number 4, I got Sin /Jet /Yu Yevon.
Okay.
I don't really see Yu Yevon as like this ultimate bad guy because he's not really present in the game. On top of that, he's just kind of a flea that you got to kick out at the end of FF10 to be like, let's stop the cycle.
Yeah, he's
literally every part of that boss.
You've never beaten the game, so
I've seen you guys beat it, and I know the story. I just have to beat it myself to be able to shit on it.
Jet is Sin, and then I think Sin as a presence in FF10 is really powerful and really violent, and the connection with Titus's father I thought was really interesting.
And
you mean the character that doesn't need to be in the game?
He's a kaiju. No, he does need to be in the game.
He does.
He's a brilliant storytelling mechanic, Kaleb.
No,
he is.
That's why Final Fantasy X is the 3rd best Final Fantasy game.
It's not good.
Kaleb, they created a character who was new to the world to help us, who were also new to the world, explore that world. Rather than just being, oh yeah, you don't know that this thing does this? No, we don't.
You mean it's okay to have freaking?
I'm a Foul C. What? And then the first time you play the FF13, you're like, what the fuck is a Foul C?
So it's just okay to have characters that are basically hypocritical Amish jocks as like a thing. Because that's what Waka is. It's just...
What does Waka have to do with this?
You said Titus is
yeah, I know. I'm just talking about the characters. Like, it's fucking...
Amish?
It's fucking bullshit. Yeah, dude, they're all Amish. They can't have technology
I guess
to a certain point, but apparently they're allowed to have fucking anti-gravity space domes that fucking fill with water so they can play 3D fucking soccer.
Look, Kaleb, all religion...
How is that acceptable to Sin, the thing that hates machines?
Kaleb, it's the same idea as you can't have coffee or tea, but you can have all the energy drinks you want. There are rules, and people follow them very precisely, and everything else isn't a rule, so you do it.
No, dude, it's a clusterfuck, and it's garbage.
You haven't beaten it, and you don't belong here.
Yeah.
That's exactly why I need to beat it, so I can shit on it properly.
I don't think you can. We're talking main villains, but we are grouping some boss fights in. It's kind of a fucking weird discussion.
There's too many. There's too many different things going on.
My number... Wait, are we on 4? Let's go, Craig.
He did... Okay, so 4.
4 is Kuja for me.
Okay, what makes Kuja 4?
He's an okay bad guy.
Wow, your okay is in the top 5.
Everybody else is kind of shit.
Almost
man.
all of Caleb's list is the top 5.
Yeah, I've
though.
beaten the shittier games.
People used to love you on this show.
Yeah.
And watch them turn.
Prepare.
Mine is a good game. It's just...
My number 4 is Sin, Jacked, you, Yevon, as well. I enjoy Sin a lot. I mean, he's a kaiju, so he's interesting at the very least. I mean, Final Fantasy's always wanted to be Star Wars and Godzilla, since 7, at least for the Godzilla part. And I liked the story going on between Titus and his father, and I really enjoyed... I like the Yu Yevon stuff. Like, he doesn't have much of a presence, but I mean, the entire civilization as we know it in this game worships this guy. Almost everybody does. So, like, he has a presence. He is worthy of being worshipped. He creates sin. Like, he has an entire church to do his bidding. Like, he's a badass. And, of course, Jacked is just the right amount of abusive to his pussy son the entire game, and I find him refreshing. I do. And I hope that as a father...
That is literally the only thing that I think is okay about Tam.
I hope as a father I will be half the dad that Jack is.
Is that an announcement, Schweitz?
Yeah, no. No. That's where I do all of my baby announcements. It's through Ultima Final Fantasy.
My sister's house is for sale for $275.
275?
Yeah, 1,000.
Oh, 1,000. Oh, gee. Yeah, no.
Okay. Sorry, dude. You bought your house right at the right time, and my sister is selling her house right at the right time. There's 100,000 worth of equity in it right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they're going to get a much bigger house.
That's awesome.
After this, I know.
Well,
you were saying you might be interested in...
I was like, how much is that thing? Just curious, because
maybe if they told you only how much they owed on it left, I guess that would probably be a lot better price.
Oh, I'm sure. So yeah, I like Sin. I like Yu Yevon. The whole Sin, Yu Yevon, Jacked, I don't know, trio.
Clusterfuck.
Interesting, and 10's one of the best games in the series, and one of the best games of all time. So.
Nope, it's garbage.
Yeah,
I think you're totally wrong, Craig. And go fuck yourself. He said
bottom
nicely.
3.
Bottom 3. You didn't even have. You had to play all of them to have a bottom 3.
The ending boss is Evray, man.
Okay, what's your number 3?
Everything past that is just.
What's your number 3, which is way better than Sin?
Vayne. Yeah,
go ahead.
Okay, yeah.
Vayne's a good bad guy.
All right,
you said it yourself.
I did. I said he was the start of the good bad guys.
Yeah. I don't think Sin is a good bad guy. Sin is just a thing. That's just all it is. And Titus has no purpose in the story. So, there you go.
God, you're so wrong. Jesus Christ,
Dude,
so wrong.
Dude, it should be a story about Yuna sacrificing herself to fucking save her people.
It is, you
That's what it should be.
That's what it is.
Instead, it's fucking about Titus and his fucking daddy issues while he's trying to get some fucking poontang off of a naive priestess. That is what fucking 10 is about.
No, 10 is about Yuna's journey through Titus's eyes.
No, it should be through Titus through Yuna's eyes the entire fucking time.
If it was through Yuna,
people do say that we agree too much twice. Maybe we should agree.
The reason why it works with Titus is because it is a strange land for us and for Titus. So we're all learning things
being
along.
There doesn't make any goddamn sense.
That makes it make sense.
No, it doesn't.
Maybe in the context of the story, it's a little muddled, but I mean,
a little muddled.
You're trying to make it. The problem you're having is you don't realize that the story is about Yuna's journey. That is what Final Fantasy X is. We're just
it should
seeing
focus on it more
it
through
focuses
Yuna,
the fuck
not
out of it.
through fucking Titus.
Well, we see Yuna through Titus. We see
Titus has the bigger role. His fucking dad is the devil, dude. I mean, come on.
No, he doesn't have the bigger role. He really doesn't,
dude. He does. He totally does.
You need to finish the game, man. You really do.
All right. Number 3.
Number 3 for Joe.
My top 3 are very difficult.
This one's gonna piss me off.
They're all gonna mix together
because they're very close. They're very close, and it could just depend on the day.
Just like a cat's length away from each other.
Like a pubic hair away from me, like the thickness of a pubic hair.
The cat's length away for you.
Oh wow, thanks, bud.
Yeah. Go on.
Anyway, these top 3 could depend on the day, but for today, I had to think about it real tough for about a minute and a half.
Yeah, a whole minute and a half.
Kefka is number 3. I think he's an extremely present, great bad guy, although a little cartoony, which is why he's at the bottom of my top 3 for today. Although a little cartoony, and his little fruffle neck thing is just a little weird.
He's a clown, man.
His ending boss point, and the point where he destroys, spoiler alert, the world of FF6 in 2/3 of the way through the game, really, really make a difference in our just really big moments for that game. And I think he's a good antagonist.
All right, I second that. X-Death is not X-Death, sorry. I was looking at Kefka.
X-Death.
X-Death has made a return. Kefka
is a complete fucking asshole.
Kefka is my number 3 as well. It does get really tough from here on. As much as I love 10's boss, Kefka, he does what he wants. He sets out to destroy the world and does it. He deceives everybody along the way. He poisons an entire castle of people. Kills them. Just kills an entire group of people. Completely ruthless. Now, doesn't have as much story as, say, Sin, or now more than Garland. So he doesn't have as much story as Sin. I feel like Sin and Yu Yevon are more interesting as characters. Kefka is just pure evil, and that's another thing that the series does a lot. That a lot of people think Kefka is the greatest villain in the series, right? And it's because he does what he sets out to do. He destroys the world. And he gets everything he wants. He is pure evil. Now, I think that personally makes him a weaker bad guy in my book, because I don't think there is such a thing as pure evil, and that's something that Final Fantasy strangely doesn't really go after as much as they should, considering they are an Eastern culture. Japan being in the East, they usually have a good and evil, and we see that theme throughout some of the earlier games, but Kefka's just evil. Like, there is no good side to him. There is no rhyme or reason, as far as I recall, for him being evil. He just is. He just wants power. And he's a great bad guy, and he has the most epic, probably one of the most epic fights of all time in the end. And it's fucking great with the grand piano playing, and it's just fucking huge, right? Big old cock. That's great.
Yeah, I remember the big veiny cock part.
Yeah. Who could forget that thing staring you down from across the chasm? But great bad guy.
Had a similar thing happen the other night.
Great bad guy, but I feel like he easily slips into the 3rd position for me, just because he is just evil, and that to me isn't realistic or interesting. It just is. So
conflicted number 3.
Conflicted number 3. Yeah.
Okay. You already did
my number 2 then.
Yeah, you're number 2.
I put Arden as number 2.
Arden from F. Do explain.
He was a pretty good bad guy. You know, he did pretty much. He pretty much got what he wanted. I mean,
Oh, he did.
He like just totally destroyed Ludifreya in the
spoilers for 15.
Yeah, if you haven't
beat it, spoilers come after the warning or before the warning. But yeah, like he does get what he wants, and he also has like human moments where he's kind of like, there are parts where he like even hangs out with the people that he plans to kill later on.
Yeah, we have photographs.
Yeah, like
with Arden.
He's just like,
I almost brought it in.
Me sometimes.
I almost brought it in the end. Remember that one time, Arden, when you weren't a dickhole?
Yeah, he's a
classic.
He's a cool bad guy. I really enjoy that he like actually just kind of like spends time hanging out around you, and then later on it's just like, hey, fuck you guys.
Yeah, he's like a sick, twisted motherfucker for that.
Yeah.
All right, Joe, what is your number 2?
My number 2 is the great Sephiroth from Final Fantasy VII. I think he's, of course, a fantastic bad guy, very three-dimensional. Of course, his mark on the series is legendary, and very distinct and interesting individual with a really cool backstory and a really good ending boss battle as well. So I think it's obvious Sephiroth is way, way high on most people's lists, and it's number 2 on mine.
All right. Respectable, I suppose. Number 2 for me is Arden as well. Great bad guy. He set out to destroy a line of people, and he destroyed that line of people
quite expertly.
And I mean, the guy who voice acted Arden did a fucking bang up job. This character was likable. This character was enjoyable. He was extremely three-dimensional. And yeah, he almost has the elements of the other top 3. He's got a good backstory. He has good motivations. And he's just fucking relentless with it, too. He just slaughters everybody. He fucking annihilates whoever he wants. He takes over the fucking world.
Yeah.
Goes Kefka mode, makes everything go dark, kills off all sorts of people.
Yeah, he murders, like, thousands of people just to kill, like, a couple.
Yeah, he went for it, man. This guy is Kefka to the extreme in my eyes. And his plot line was extremely enjoyable in 15, and I would say probably one of the strongest points of that entire game was Arden's presence in the game. He's I was extremely impressed with this bad guy, and I didn't expect him to be that evil, honestly. Like, I was like, okay, I'm not really sure what's going to go on with 15. Like, I can tell he's iffy because I watched the movie and I watched all the other supplemental things. He's definitely on the bad side, but I didn't quite understand exactly what or how bad he was until he started slaughtering everything. And I woke up as Keanu Reeves 10 years in the future.
It's true.
And that's when I knew. Hey, guys. Yeah. Whoa. I've been out for 10 years.
Oh, my God. God, he does look like modern Keanu Reeves.
I know.
Keanu Reeves' beard, it just needs to go away.
It does,
work.
yeah.
Sorry, Keanu. I love you, but
it's
you gotta get rid of that weird thin beard.
Everybody in 15 has that thin beard shit, too. And, like, is no one here from the north? Like, what is this?
From the north.
Yeah, we need, like, some Viking with a god beard to come down and start.
Ignis had any facial hair.
No, yeah, he didn't have any.
No,
yeah.
Smooth as the baby's bottom.
Yep.
My number 1.
Well, I mean, we know who it is.
Is after Craig's number 1.
My number 1 is Sephiroth.
All right, explain. Why is he better than all of the other 7?
Well, he's pretty close to Arden, but he's an amazing bad guy. He, like, basically is about to destroy the world before everybody's like, you know what, we're going to have this magical Deus Ex moment. And then...
what about Night Sex moment?
And that, too.
Okay.
It was at night.
But he totally kills Aerith, and like that's
that's a big moment.
It's a big moment, like a huge thing, and it's like that, like in 15 where Arden, he totally kills Ludifreya, like the love interest or a love interest of like the main character. So it's like that is a huge thing for a bad guy to do. and you totally don't get her back. Like, there's like, people fucking try to glitch the game so that they can keep her in the thing, but like and then just like his backstory with like Genova and how he was manipulated in every way, basically, and he just finds out, he just fucking snaps and tries to kill everybody. And I think that's fucking awesome.
My number one, I feel like Schweiss is going to be really pissed off. My number one is Arden from FF15 for today. Once again, it would depend on the day, but let me explain why. First off, I think that as soon as the story gets going in 15, I'm on board. I know some people didn't like Chapter 13, but I thought it was really good, actually. On top of that, when the bad guy got more and more sort of three-dimensional, I got more and more into the story, and the ending fights were just incredible, both visually, and it was like a really cool part of the game. On top of that, all the things that you guys talked about with Arden, just super interesting, and you can like even delve, kind of like you can with Sephiroth, you can delve into like a bunch of fan theories about things, and of course we looked into like understanding FF15 sort of stuff, and it was just really in-depth and really interesting stuff when it comes to like him and then the summons in the game and their relationship, and then his relationship with the Line of the Kings. I just thought it was way cool, and I think he has all the things that Sephiroth has, like the interesting backstory, kind of like the dark, brooding character. He's been waiting so long for this moment, as well as all the things that Kefka has, where he is
just evil,
brutal.
Yeah, like the poisoning of the village and the water,
and the darkening of the world and all this shit. I find Arden, I think they tried to up their bad guy game for 15, and personally, I think they succeeded. I mean, it might be tough because some people are like, well, that Sephiroth and Kefka, they're classics. They must be number one and number two. But for me, if I'm going to be honest with myself, I was looking 10 years from now, I think Arden, in my experience playing 15 for the first time, and I will play it again, I think for me, it was very, very strong, very, very impressionable on me. So today, I'm ranking Arden as number one.
All right.
FF villain.
But it could change at any time, people. Just be aware of that.
Now, the top three aren't really going to change, though. They're all going to be the same. Top three.
Yeah, the top three will be the same characters, but who is where?
Admittedly, Arden did kick out someone else in the top three very recently, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was going to be in the top three?
I guess it would probably be...
It was Sin for you.
It was, Sin or Kuja, probably, depending on the day, once again. But, yeah.
All right, well, I put number one as Sephiroth. I mean, the guy has an excellent backstory. I think he has as strong, if not a stronger backstory than Arden. I think it actually is stronger because we know more about Sephiroth, and we can see his plight like firsthand. We see his transformation from being a normal guy who's just working for this company.
Yeah, through like flashbacks, and then the like with the stuff you find out with Hojo and everything.
Yeah, and like in Shinra Manor, like seeing him change his mind, seeing him like realize what it is that he has to do. Super powerful, and he's pretty fucking brutal as well. I mean, he slaughters an entire village of people. He cuts down anybody that's in his way. It's just his objective. He's kind of the way he goes about it's a little different. Like, he wants to destroy the world, so obviously it's either you do it or you don't. But his attempt to destroy the world would have wiped out everything, as opposed to Kefka
crushed the fucking planet.
Yeah, it would have been a catastrophe. It would have been like an ice age for a long time if something that massive were to smash into that planet. Like, it would be over, and he would harness the power of the life stream and all of that shit if he was even able to. It would have been a god, right?
Yeah.
Even more so than Kefka was, but obviously the party thwarts his efforts and shuts him down. But I mean, the identity crisis that he ran through, I think, is one of the strongest plot points in the entire series, and it's just, I mean, I think it edges out Arden basically any day, but it is a tough fight. But I just think Sephiroth has a slightly more interesting story, and he's like upped Arden in my mind. He's like an Arden that's just a little bit cooler, and we have a little bit more backstory that's not as theory based. It's like actually given to us, and we can see the way he just altered himself. Like he was just destroyed by what he found when he looked into his origins and became obsessed with I don't know, his genes, almost in like a weird, like neo-Nazi-esque way. He just became like consumed by what he was. It was, I don't know, I just think he's great. So glad we can all agree on the top three at least. It's well, except for Craig, I guess. Craig's got Vane.
Craig's got number 3 is Vane.
I should have put Vane higher. I was looking at it and I was like, Vane actually is a good bad guy.
His goals aren't necessarily to destroy the planet like half the other people in Final Fantasy games.
Yeah, he just wants to rule, basically.
He just wants the fucking his empire.
Yeah, which is everything.
He's the son of an emperor, and he feels like he's not going to get it, so he wants to take it.
He's Littlefinger. That's what he is.
Basically.
Yeah. That actor is totally in season 3 of The Wire, and it's weird, by the way.
Littlefinger is?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, and he's trying to climb the ladder.
Does he not?
Too. He doesn't talk like that
yet.
He
doesn't talk like this.
Not yet. Soon. The more powerful he gets, the more he starts like...
Yeah, the more he...
really
quieter and softer he speaks.
We restarted the series.
And he's normal.
Season 1, and he's like... He doesn't talk like he... There's a tiny bit. There's a hint. But it's not really... Yes,
like the more
Sansa,
the more plotty he gets. Like,
yeah, the more he's got going on upstairs, like the deeper into his plot we go. Yes, it's gonna be sweet. Season 7 is gonna rock tomorrow or yesterday, as you guys hear this. But yeah,
and then it's all sand snakes.
Oh, dude,
That's
she's in the season. I saw her on the red carpet.
Fucking kill that lady so I don't have to see her bad acting anymore.
Oh, no, it's the mom. The mom was the one I saw on the red carpet.
The mom.
The one who...
The one that was
married to Oberyn.
Yeah.
Yeah. She needs to die as well.
Yeah, she does. She's evil. But...
Okay, she's the best of the 3 bad actresses that play the Sand Snakes.
No, the Sand Snakes are her daughters. I saw the mom on a red carpet thing. Although I think I saw the main Sand Snake one.
You not count her as the Sand Snake?
No, there's the 3 daughters, and then there's her.
Oh.
She's not...
Is she not part of that? I thought she was like the leader.
Or maybe we're thinking of 2 different people.
Well, they're her daughters. Like I'm talking about the one who was with what's his name when he got his teeth smashed in or his face smashed in? Yeah. Ilaria or whatever.
About.
Yeah, she's not a Sand Snake. Those are her daughters.
Well, I know they were her daughters.
She's not the one who poisoned...
No, she is.
But she's totally a Sand Snake.
But the nickname goes to the daughters of those 2. She's one of the people that we hate in the show.
I cannot fucking stand a scene with those with those people. It's not because they're particularly bad story things. It's that they are bad actresses.
Yeah, they are.
And it's like you got a group of bad actresses doing this phony accent.
At least the one is hot.
That one is smoking.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Let's be clear. She is smoking hot. She's a terrible actress.
Yeah. But she's hot enough that it makes up for something.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't make up for any of the bad acting.
I think it makes her better than the other 2. Jesus. What? She is the best of the bad.
Most beautiful
dude. This is why you shouldn't be a director. You'd let your penis do the thinking and the casting.
God. Come on. I just think Nick Cage be other people. It'd be Face Off for every...
it'd be like Nutty
every
Professor.
Every movie would be Face Off.
Yeah, Nutty Professor. There you go.
Nutty Professor, but all Nick Cage.
Yeah.
I would watch that, to be honest.
I get 11 times the paycheck because it's 11 different roles.
Yeah. Oh, also, I funded it myself. I'm going to go Passion of the Christ on this.
And drive 3D crazy or whatever.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Good discussion on bad guys.
You know what, guys? It's so easy to bash on 15 right now because of things that it could have been. I think it's better for all of us to just appreciate the game that we got.
Yeah.
As fans of just playing video games, I don't think you should judge 15 against like what it could have been with versus 13. I think 15, frankly, is a very strong game. but whatever.
I think it's
maybe I'm the only one who has positivity in this.
I think it's middle ground as far as the series goes. That's why it's exactly in the middle. It's the 8th best Final Fantasy game.
Bad guy's too good, and the combat's too good for me to place it in the middle.
Yeah.
Bad guy's really good. Combat is okay.
Combat's fun.
It's fun.
I don't know if
That's all I give a shit about.
It's not amazing though.
Yeah, it's kind of Kingdom Hearts, and it's not bad.
Well,
but
Kingdom Hearts, I would say a little better.
a little better.
Yeah, dude.
I loved 15.
I enjoy 15.
I'm not gonna fucking.
Well, I mean,
I loved it.
It's funny that you bring that
I just
up.
know that it has problems.
It's funny you bring that up at a time like this where the average rating for Arden is the 1.33 spot. Or like 1.6 is he's almost the best villain in the series. So, yeah, it's a great game. It's worth it. Put it 100 hours in and shelf it for the rest of.
I loved it. I shed a single tear at the end of the game, and only FF10 has done that for me as well. So, I say that I think 15 is very powerful. I think it does have some flaws, like we talked about in the 5-hour review of 15 that we did. But I think it's a little far to shit on it, like people shat on 13, and it seems like things are twisted in that way.
Where they're going to start.
People are going to be like, it could have been versus 13. It's like, 13 could have also been a complete game,
I
too.
think they did that to them.
I think most of the hate towards
the storytelling is maybe I'm in the minority here. Way better than the last game everybody shit on, which was 13.
It's better.
It's better than 13.
Okay.
Yeah. But they're both not great, but they're not great for very different reasons. 15's is not great storytelling wise because it's got barely anything. And 13's is not great because it feels
incomplete.
Because it is stuffed to the gills with shit that I don't fucking care about.
Yeah.
And then the expansions bring characters back, but not really. Because I don't buy that Hope was God the whole time thing. I think he was Hope until he was God in the end. And then they bring back
he wasn't God the whole time.
That's what I thought you were saying. Like he was God the whole time.
He was God the whole time in Lightning Return.
No, I still don't think that's the case.
Yeah, he was.
I don't think so.
Totally was. It's in the fucking wiki.
No, I looked it up. He takes his image, but he's not him during the game. He morphed him into a young version of Hope. That is why I hate it.
It's like the Trinity, dude. He is God still.
No, dude, no.
Yes.
And they bring that general guy back, the Sid Reigns. Remember that in Lightning Returns? You remember that? How he's like, oh, I'm not actually Sid. I just chose his image. That is why 13 has bad storytelling. Is because he just chose his image randomly. He did a character creation screen, and it happened to show Sid Reigns' exact look for another person. That is why that one's bad. 15's storytelling I don't like as much because it feels empty.
I think it has problems at the beginning of 15, and that's where you get all the hunts, which we all shat on.
But it's simpler is better than way overly complex.
Yeah.
But I would say they're bad for...
Look, the whole point of a story is to pull you through emotionally, not to get you in depth in lore.
Yeah, balls deep in lore.
Like 14 seems to think that a good story equals shitload of lore, but 15 was simple and had simple characters that you pulled into, and then that was the story. It was the relationship of those characters.
Yeah, it had a good bit of emotional stuff with it.
Yeah,
and
that's the only reason to be invested in the story is emotions.
It still feels like there could have been more to it.
Well, I know there could have been. The most powerful thing in the game is when you go to the World of Darkness. That should be an epic part. It felt like I was when I got there. I was my god,
that's a missing scene.
And then you just get all the backstory from a truck ride with some fucking kid that betrayed your thing and got Jared killed, a man who you somehow care more about than your dad's best fucking friend and your friend's dad. Your best friend's dad who died. They all cried about that Jared motherfucker dying, but nothing about his dad. No, now daddy can fuck off, but Jared, we got to get our jewels right. We got to get our rings. He went to Jared, but you can't go to Jared anymore because the fucking Empire killed him. That is what bothers me. The darkness. And then they put out this survey where they're like, "What do you want to see from 15?" And that's in there. And I'm like, "Fuck you! You know it should be there. You fucking know it."
I think there could have been more with Noctis and Lunafreya too.
Yeah, that too.
A lot of their stuff was like weird transpondence via teleporting dog. They have technology of phones, so they could have just been texting.
I'm going to repeat myself and say that those two are the biggest flaws in the game, is the Lunafreya relationship and the lack of completion with the World of Darkness section.
I played it for an hour,
but I loved everything else in it, so fuck it.
Yeah. I do hope they... I don't know.
I rank 10 story really high, and there's shit in there that does not make any sense.
Oh, there is.
In the lore. So, and you think about it when you're playing the game.
Yeah.
But then again, like in FF6, like I know a lot of people love Ultros. I think he's kind of stupid.
I hate Ultros.
And he just shows up every
much.
None of these games are flawless. But
Tactics is.
I think FF15 yes, fuck you. Well, I'm not sure yet. I'll find out. But I think 15 is much stronger than a lot of people get credit for. Or like, I have a feeling a 15 first time playthrough, people loved it. Second time playthrough, after all the information, including we did this on our show, of like, oh, it was actually, they were going to put all this shit in. I think it's now become, hindsight is, let's shit on this game. It's pulling an Avatar on this.
Well, they're also letting them do it because they're like, hey, what do you want us to add into the game?
Yeah,
story-wise?
I agree that is...
Avatar?
So it's like they're basically begging you to fucking shit on them because they're like, yeah... We realized we didn't get everything done.
Look, man, Avatar was a 3-star film when it came out, and it's still a 3-star film now. Yep. It's very impressive to look at, but it's Pocahontas. And I don't like Pocahontas. It's one of the worst Disney movies. So why would I want it again?
I think it's a better movie than Pocahontas.
Oh, it is a better movie than Pocahontas.
Yeah. It is.
But it's the same story, and I don't know. It is at least a very beautiful movie to look at. So, like, that's what I like about it. I don't watch Avatar because I'm like, oh, I need a deep story here. I want a deep story today. But maybe it is. Maybe it is. But 13, didn't it take a little while before the internet started to really hate 13?
No, it didn't take that long at all. It took like 2 months.
Oh, okay.
And then people started shitting on it. And I would say the same for 15. I think it took about 2 months. Some extra information, and then a lot of people started shitting on it. And of course, now Square Enix, instead of leaving 15 alone,
they just came at it.
They just like, let's acknowledge that we left things out. And I do that with my hand quotes, by the way, left things out, and put a bunch of shit in there.
Yeah, I don't know if I like it or if I dislike the fact that they're doing that. I will
find out. I think after we're done with this show, Schweiss, I think I'm going to take a couple weeks off. And I think we're going to plow through the series in 2 weeks.
Really?
The main series once again.
Dude, we should do that as like a Twitch marathon.
Yeah, we should.
Totally. I was actually thinking that. I was thinking that because we brought it up a couple weeks ago. You were talking about it, and I was like, that would be a cool send-off.
Gonna go easy mode on everything, though, and do some cheaps.
Maybe do a competition where we just like we get together at a certain time when we start streaming and see who can get furthest.
Yeah, maybe.
Are you going to play those Final Fantasy games?
But you know how long we have till that fucking happens, Schweiss?
A long time.
A long fucking time. Jesus Christ.
The longer we're on this podcast, the longer it'll be. But yeah, no, it's 15 was good though. I liked it.
Speaking of, let's just go straight to questions from us to thou. That's what we call it, right?
To thou?
Yeah.
Us to thou. It's close enough, but you got to give me like a second here. Jesus.
Just so many questions.
All right, so a few weeks ago, Joseph asked, what topics do we need to cover on UFF? We're getting pretty deep into the series now. What have we skipped over that needs attention? Rob Lennon.
Besides some novels from FF7.
Yeah,
FF10-2, radio play, and novel. The rest of history of Square Enix.
Yeah, we know of what we...
Are those our series?
I think so. The history of...
some FF Unlimited commentaries.
Oh, some? Yeah.
It's not that many left. I think we got halfway or more than that, right?
Something like that.
Yeah.
And then the review for that. That'll be fun. Rob Lennon.
Sucks.
It does. Will you be adding the Saga series games to your list? They did start out as Final Fantasy Legend. It should fit your criteria as games that were FF. Rob. Now, I bought this game, but I bought it because I thought it was the game that Joe was talking about when he said one of the... He either said, this is one or this is not one. And I looked at it and I was like, fuck it. It is not one. And the reason why it is not one is because they added Final Fantasy Legend to the title only in the States to sell it.
Yep.
Doesn't count.
So it was not originally Final Fantasy in Japan. It does not count as a Final Fantasy on our playlist. This is a imposter Final Fantasy game called Final Fantasy Legend. And so it will not be a part of our show.
All right, yeah. There we go. He says he's been lied to all this time. Are you really looking forward to that? Really?
Well, it's on the fucking list. Like at the very bottom of our list on our main page, you scroll all the way down. It says if it was not titled Final Fantasy originally in Japan, it does not count.
Yep.
And I'm sorry. And we have discussed this before on this show, but admittedly, it is a lot of episodes to remember.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it does not count.
All right, so Harry Gooseballs says, how about a top 10 list? Best, coolest weapon designs, best songs from the game you have played. Could even do worst characters, moments, even overrated moments. Also, lore stuff is always interesting. Yeah, we've got plenty of lore that we can dive into.
I don't say we got plenty of lore, because we just had a lore episode recently with the fan theory thing. We do have... Shinru's going to bring it up. There was the idea that Shinru had about the FF13 lore.
Yeah.
Which should be discussed. Yeah, I agree. That is a...
It should, yeah. It's
episode.
heavy. It's thick.
And we should probably do it before we forget the 13 games.
Yes, we should. Silver Shades. I don't have any specific ideas, but I can tell you some of the things that I have found most interesting that you have done so far that maybe you could make into full episodes. I really like when you get into the mythology of the series. I also enjoy when you guys get more philosophical and when you are more critical... with your analysis of characters and storylines. I think Joe's film studies background provide an interesting insight into character and world development that not many fan sites get into. I would be interested in maybe a couple episodes where you analyze specific characters and their arcs. Maybe even skip people like Cloud, Lightning, and Squall, who always get a lot of focus, and instead focus on popular but lesser analyzed characters like Terra, Barrett, Auron, etc. You could maybe even do a poll to see who people are most interested in hearing about. You could even call the series character spotlights. That is an interesting idea. I also really like the fan theories episodes, but I don't really know of any specifically that you haven't already covered. That is unfortunately true. An episode on blue mages / blue magic throughout the games would be cool.
How many times have we been asked that? Have we been asked this before?
Blue magic?
Yeah.
I feel like it, yeah.
Could you talk about blue magics? Like, not really, because I never used it.
I did a little bit.
You did a little bit?
I was interested in collecting a lot of the things.
I could not fill a whole episode, though, on that. I could not. I'm
not.
sorry. Maybe we can go through all the jobs in the entire series, but...
Maybe, yeah.
I don't... Like, blue mage, I just didn't use... and... Like we talked about,
you didn't use Quistis?
No, not really.
Oh, I totally did. I love seeing her fire rockets out of her tits.
The only good blue magic is in 7 with the enemy
skill.
Ability. Yeah, the enemy skill material.
I would say that Kamari is pretty powerful for a little while in 10. Not very long.
A little while.
Kamari was the least used character too.
Every time I attempt to play 10, I never use that guy.
You can get some pretty powerful attacks from him, but
it's one of those things where you have to be just playing around in the game, not trying to beat it, in order for Blue Mage to be rewarding.
Yeah, and in 11, it's extremely rewarding from what we saw, thanks to one of our wonderful listeners. Maybe highlight some of the reoccurring classic blue magics and also highlight some of the most bizarre blue magic spells in the series. Even talk about what we might see or hope to see with blue magic in future FF installments. Shinru says, and to answer the should we do an episode every other week instead of weekly question on the show, don't do that. That's what FF Union does. Ooh, that's fucking harsh.
Well, we might have a Dragon Quest.
Oh. What we?
I'm just saying, maybe every other week there could be a Dragon Quest podcast, and maybe every other week there could be a Final Fantasy podcast. I don't know. Something in there. Someone told me there was a Dragon Quest podcast in the works. Maybe I'm insane.
Maybe, yeah.
Oh, never mind.
Somebody told you that?
I must have been dreaming.
Yeah, he says, even if you guys just randomly talk about FF stuff to fill an episode, I still find it fun to listen to. I don't think you phoned it in or on any episode. And besides, there's a clear distinction between quality podcasts on iTunes that release every week and ones that do it every other week. I know Joe once mentioned making money off podcasts, and if that's the case, it's best to be a weekly show instead of bi-weekly. Daily show.
A daily Final Fantasy podcast.
Alistair says the backstory on the Astrals from 15, literally everything in 15 that wasn't in the main story, so everything. So, yeah.
Okay. We totally did that on 15 already, didn't we? With the shit that was missing we talked about.
Yeah, I think we mentioned it.
Okay, I think we went into that already. Okay, there's some good ideas in here. I don't really want it to become a top 10 marathon podcast too much. But we'll look into some stuff. There's some series we need to finish up. There's some spotlights we probably need to do
and
now.
Who knows, maybe once we get out of 14 we might be able to pick up the pace on some of these games.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
So it wouldn't need to be an issue if we didn't take 4 months to beat a game.
Yeah.
If we could take a few weeks or a month.
Hey, beat Stormblood or excuse me, Heaven's Word 2.55 Dragon Song.
Delray Pete in the chat says change Patreon to 25 cents a week.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
It's the Patreons per month. Come on.
Yeah. All right, these are good ideas, guys. It's not something that I'd be worried about anytime soon necessarily, but we do figure we have a few more years of Ultima Final Fantasy to go based on where we are now versus where we need to be before we sign off for the last time.
Guys, we thought this podcast would take 2 years at the beginning, and it is turning into
something else.
A long ass time.
Yeah, which, I mean, it is. We will have accomplished something very few people will have done. I mean, completing every Final Fantasy game. That's a feat. That is a feat right there. So, I mean, it's worth it.
Well, at the moment, we're at foot. So.
Yeah. But, yeah, so, I mean, we'll have to see what happens. But we will try to cover everything of importance at the very least. And, yeah, pick up the pace on the games. I mean, in the beginning, we were a lot faster. I mean, the games were shorter.
Yeah, they were.
They were.
And we also started in the middle of a summer break.
Yes, and that was a great summer. That's some good times.
It's good shit.
Yeah, fucking first 4 games in like 2 months. Can't do that anymore.
To be fair, if we had not done 11 or 14, we would be way further into this thing.
Yeah, that's the 3 actual weeks of my life gone to 11. Yes, those could have been.
Can't wait to do those Windhurst missions to finish this fucker off.
Yeah. Windhurst has a beautiful soundtrack, so I am actually excited for that.
Yeah, it's nice.
I'm creating a new character for that, though. You do what you want, but
I think if we do decide to plow through at the end,
I think we have to make a new character. We know exactly where to go, man. We could do it.
Yeah, you mean we know exactly how to use the FF11 Wikipedia?
That yes. we know how to navigate the.
We know how to use the wiki.
Yeah, and we know where to go to level for the first good chunk of the game. I would say there's a path you take. You just walk.
Yeah, it's called already using your character that you already have, and then starting up that Windhurst quest.
Or we could do
Windhurst. Sandoria.
We could do Windhurst as a new class, and that would be kind of the same thing. And that way, if we felt like it at the end, I want to beat this guy's face in one hit. We just go through. Oh, dude, no. That would be pretty fun to go through and just do all the dungeons again and get all the records because our guys are way OP and it's just Degolier or it's El Husk and New Boreas hold the record for blah blah blah. And it's just fucking El Husk and New Boreas all across the board because we're the last people that have played the game ever. They'll keep it alive just for us.
Problem is 14 will take just as long though. I don't think you can't just start. Oh no, you can get the potions to level up, so you don't have to level up. You do still have to like get equipment and shit though. Like,
yeah, dude, 14 would be fucked. I don't know if we could do 14.
Oh, we'd have to. You know we'd have to.
From the beginning,
I would buy one of those fucking potions that's for sale though. I absolutely would. Just to be like,
if we're gonna do that,
fuck
then
to leveling. Because I don't think you can just restart A Realm Reborn with your character that you have.
No, you have to make a new character.
It's stupid.
Well, we could still run through the entire story, but that would not be fun.
I would just run through A Realm Reborn.
That would not be fun at all.
And
all those cutscenes?
Just A Realm Reborn, not A Realm Reborn 2.55.
Right.
That would be a lot shorter than we think it is.
It would be, yeah.
And you don't have to level. Just remember that. You buy a fucking potion. That's what I would do, man. If you're going to speed run 14.
All right. If we do that, then we would have to start a new character in 11. Or we just skip the MMOs and replace it with like tactics and whatever the second best non-main series FF ends up being. Dirge of Cerberus. We do the best. No, we do the best non-main series and the worst non-main series, and then we call it good. And then we sign off. Fucking Dirge. You beat it in one sitting. Like almost every minute of that game.
I did beat it in one sitting.
Yeah, 8-hour stream. I was there for most of it.
Thanks for reminding me of that.
Yeah.
Okay, so because we're totally going to beat Dragon Song War by next week, and we didn't get your opinions on Heaven's Word, I would like for the question for us to you this week to be, what did you think of Heaven's Word / Dragon Song War as a whole? So if you could please go on our forums, ultimatefinalfantasy.com, click on the forums, join there, or if you already have an account, which hopefully you do, please answer that question if you've played Heaven's Word / Dragon Song War, which, if you're confused, is the second half of of Heaven's Word. So that's, unless you got another question from us to you, that's my question from us to you this week.
No, man, that's
which of the final bosses would you fuck?
That's the question from us to you.
Kill, marry, fuck for
all the Final Fantasy bosses.
Kill, marry, fuck for Sephiroth, Kefka, and Arden.
Okay. Kill, marry, fuck Sephiroth, Kefka, Arden.
And fuck Craig's top 3.
Hey, man, I got to do what I got to do.
You got to do what you got to do, I guess. UltimateFinalFantasy.com is where you can find the show. There's links there for Amazon, Patreon, PayPal, if you want to support us. On top of that, you can tweet me at Joseph DeGollier.
Me at Obsidian Bob.
Me at UFF Podcast.
You can find the show streaming live at twitch.tv/UltimateFinalFantasy and enjoy talking with the trolls.
Yeah, I enjoy it. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, tons of fun. We also have a YouTube channel.
Some of our shit's there, some of it's not. You can go to youtube.com/UltimateFinalFantasy. Check out our phone line, 385-204-3921. Leave us an intro, leave us a question, do whatever the fuck you want.
And leave us an iTunes review. We didn't have one this week, but...
No, we did.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
We just didn't read it.
Okay, we'll read it next time.
Yeah. You're safe this week, because we went long.
We did. Speaking of long, my cock is on the show today.
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's dragging against the mic right there.
That's pretty...
brought it up, yeah.
I almost missed it. I'm glad you pointed it out.
Needed a magnifying glass.
All right.
For your ear?
Check out Nude Clan Godzilla. You know
the drill, yeah.
See you guys next week. Fuck this fly!
Enjoy the grind.
This has been another production of Ultima Final Fantasy, the Ultimate Final Fantasy Podcast. The show was produced by Joseph DeGollier and Kaleb Schweiss, with music and editing by Joseph DeGollier, parodies and clips from their respective authors, of course. You can get all of our episodes as well as our Let's Plays at ultimafinalfantasy.com. You can also contact us on Twitter at UFF Podcast, as well as our contact page on our website. Be sure to subscribe and review our podcast. Your reviews may get read on the show, and look forward to the next episode of Ultima Final Fantasy, the Ultimate Final Fantasy Podcast.